So we're back to looking at more shows that are based around the idea of kid versions of characters that we know from shows. This time we look at Jungle Cubs, James Bond Jr., and Gadget Boy, and Heather. Before I get into talking about all of them, one thing I did notice was that during the process of this video, most of the shows, they didn't really have a long life, like a long running life, as one would say. So let's start with our first one, which is Jungle Cubs.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature recipes that bring the bare necessities of life.
It was based around the idea of, what if we made a prequel to Jungle Book and centered around Baloo, Bagheera, Shere Khan, King Louie, and Kaa before they grew up to be the characters that we all know, and love. The show ran for over 2 seasons, with 21 episodes total from October 5th, 1996, and ending on January 10th, 1998. In the cast, you have voice acting legends like Rob Paulsen, who voiced Hati, an elephant, and Jim Cummings was brought back to voice the character of Kaa, the snake.
I swear I shall never again associate with man cubs.
The show was similar to other shows in the 90s from like the Disney afternoon, in that the show would have musical segments similar to other shows.
It's nearly clear when you're snout to snout.
There's a certain sort of something worth talking about.
Your heart starts marching to a lovey-dovey beat. Having palpitations to your full left feet.
I do find the character designs rather cool, but I do find it strange that most of the characters aren't friends in the original, like Shere Khan and Baloo. And hey, they have to still keep a IP that they have well known to the audience as the years go by. So let's move on from talking animals to spies.
Bond, James Bond Jr. No one can stop him, but scum always tries. Young Bond cuts through each web of spies.
With James Bond Jr. James Bond Jr. was a show about the adventures of James Bond's nephew. I wonder if James Bond was in retiring age at that point. These debuted on September of 1991 and ran for 65 episodes before ending in December of that year, which is quite a lot of episodes for a show that only lasted a few months. Corey Burton was the voice of James Bond Jr. and Horace IQ Boyford the third. And IQ, if you're trying to think say IQ, he's actually believed the son of Q. And he was voiced by Jeff Bennett. And if you needed a reminder, he was the voice of Dexter's dad from Dexter's Laboratory, and other shows.
Feed me! Feed me! Feed me!
And Burton having multiple roles like Ansem the Wise in Kingdom Hearts, to Dale in Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
I think I have an idea how to draw Boba Fett out.
Hey, what's the big idea?
You would have some of these spy adventures that in this show that you would have seen in the James Bond films, but toned down. If I could compare the show to anything, I would probably compare it to like something like, say, Johnny Quest. I mean, the animation for the show kind of reminds me of it.
I know what you mean. Look out! Hey! Watch it! Excuse me. Let's move. Got him back here!
So, it has that similarity to it. Yeah, at the same time, like, when I was watching it, I kind of like, wait, am I also watching a Johnny Quest kind of show? Because this one made me think. So, now that we looked at, a secret spy, let's look at another spy in a show that seemed to have a connection to Inspector Gadget. So, let's look at Gadget Boy and Heather.
The world and all its treasures shall belong to me, Spydra, once I eliminate Gadget Boy!
Gadget Boy, he's so much smarter than the rest. Gadget Boy!
And with the title of that, I bet you're probably wondering, sounds like Inspector Gadget as a kid. Well, it's not. The show was co-produced between Dick Productions, LP France Animation, and M6. So yes, this was connected to like a French distribution company. The show had 2 seasons and both had 26 episodes per season. So yeah, it had like quite a few episodes. The voice of Gadget, Boy Gadget, being Don Adams, who voiced Inspector Gadget, and would later be voiced by Maurice LaMarche, the voice of Brain from Pinky and the Brain, and Big Bob from Hey Arnold. The show would give me, it kind of gives me the, Saturday cartoon vibes.
Go, go, Gadget Boy, baseball mitt. Don't worry, Mother Irish Bird. I'll save your babies. Oh, no.
That you would have seen inspired by Tex Avery. But this show just seems like something you would have watched growing up, and then years later you would go, oh, yeah. Sort of like how, you remember, say, I know I have this movie, or something like that, but then you feel like, say, well, why hasn't anyone talked about this? And then as you're watching, you feel like, say, I think I can understand why.
To spy on them is a simple trick. Crystal of Druids, Faith and Big Lad, show us the place where they've hidden me dad.
Fantastic.
But, did you watch any of these shows growing up? Or no, did you, I kind of watched Jungle Cubs growing up. I don't really remember, say, a ton of, moments of it. I think it was around the same time, say, Timon and Pumbaa came out as well, but sadly, I think, I remember more of Timon and Pumbaa compared to Jungle Cubs. See you next time.